Still July 26th, 2026. Like I said, today is a 1 year anniversary of July 26, 25, when the investigator from May 18 showed up at Walmart 62, that he interviewed John and he said nothing bad ever happened to him. I told you about June 3rd, 23, of the electrical companies pulling in, said, "Hey, isn't that John's mom?" He said, she's never hurt anyone. And it's because of these people he may never see his mom again. And that's his mom. I know. And he said, it's just these people. Okay? They were all over Louisville. The men that work for the King from Texas, Judge Peters Group, breaking their crimes. Okay? I told you about 8921 apartment building, 46, close to the fence where I lived on North Chapel. Lady, the little girls lived there. They were out there talking about Dave being part of having me drugged and told to say it before. 4 or 5 neighbors had, there's a police officer over there with a badge around his neck. Took their statement, 1295 Fairlawn, little white lady, screamed at him, because they were telling everybody what they did to me about drugging me and telling me to say it before. And she screamed at him and talked to several people. Okay. They used to chant it outside my apartment in 19. And, I talked to my old neighbor, Amy. April 2nd, I got married last year. And we stopped in after the wedding, and we were getting ready to go out to eat with Danny and Jen. And I said, Amy, do you remember when they used to chant outside my apartment that they drugged me and told me to say it before? She said, I remember that. I said, this is it. Do you remember March 24, 22, where that little white man was screaming at a big drug dealer? You framed her before? Yeah, we framed her before. She said, I remember that. You can hear it clear in my apartment. I said, this is it. I told you, Memorial Day weekend, 2021, that heavyset Michelle Lauren came down. The goons from Ravenna were at the end of Fairlawn Street. Are you crazy? You can't enter a drug confession. Well, we just found out they drugged her and told her what to say before. I thought, bullshit. They were admitting it in 18. I told you. The big drug where Agent John's prostitute girlfriend on June 26, 26, in front of the Stark County Sheriffs, admitted that they hired drug dealers to do this to me. Okay? And they photoshopped washing in the shower in the other room. Okay? To make fun of me. It was drug dealers. If you go to March 20th, 26, Walmart West Husk by the electronics, there's an investigator there. He's been around me since 18, works directly with the FBI. An agent that's working the case besides Agent John. Okay? He said, I haven't found one bit of this funny. One bit of it. Since an FBI agent showed up in my office, said that family that was telling everybody offended him strange, calling her a faker, that they were all lying to the FBI. And they were in there, they were helping him get away with it. And Strange hated the government. No wonder he tried this with us. See, there's real people. John told me when about the time right before the case started, there was lights flashing above our house. And just lights everywhere. No fireworks. And I called him. I'm like, there's lights everywhere. He said, Mom, they're angels. I said, angels? He said, they're fighting over your soul. I said, John, I don't mean enough to anyone. He said, Mom, you don't realize it's angels. and they're fighting over your soul. I said, I don't mean enough to anyone. He said, you just don't realize it. Some of the investigators called themselves Karen's Angels. Okay? There's real people, good and bad, been fighting back over this. And it's a drug cartel. And that's where, if you take that investigator from March 20th, 26th, Tuscarawas County came up and got the surveillance of Walmart West Tusk on March 20th, 26th, found that investigator that worked straight with the FBI. So it told them that Melissa is documenting me games of pretend. Okay? And that I had never hurt anyone. And it was a human traffickers in my home. And this is a drug scam from them. See, that's where I was left up there. Some guy found out and he ran around asking everyone to help. A group of African American men showed up in Macy's and they were complaining about that agent. That he left me up there, that he said he didn't want to help somebody that was part Jewish. I'm only like 1'6". I'm a Christian too. It's just heritage. And then the guy ran around asking everybody to show up to help. Keep an eye on her. Said, ask if we care. He said as if we care if she had a little Hebrew blood in her. A lot of the extra people that showed up for help and guards were African American. One time in 21, I was in Save-A-Lot on Whipple, and this one huge guy, African American, was in there. He used to show up when they'd have drug dealers and stuff, and other people, and he would be close rocking around me. And I hadn't seen him in a while. I don't even know who he is, but I remember him being there. And I smiled at him great big. The woman that he was with went, "What is that about?" He said, "Oh, I used to help take care of her." She's like, "Excuse me?" He said, "Oh, it's nothing like that." I thought, yeah, I used to help a lot of people. See the kindness of strangers. And see where January 25th, 26th. Someone knocked on the door when I was crying in my room that night. They said, "Hey, the police always knew she was innocent before." And they were talking about it at the station. Some guy was bailing this guy out from a team. Said, if she's innocent, I'll pay her fine or bail. Said, no, the police always knew she's innocent before, and they never want to arrest her. They knew somebody else did something wrong before. Like they said, they could tell what she was. I was drugged when they were supposed to drug me and told me to say it before. They could tell that I was drugged. They have said it a lot through the case. You could tell she was drugged. Okay? I don't think it's funny. Said that agent was trying to put a fine on her so big that she said something that FBI was involved. He wanted to put her in jail for saying that, and he can't do that. And the recruiter said, well, I'll pay that fine. Nobody can tell anybody. They can't say anything. And I don't want anybody saying anything to her ever again. Nobody can tell somebody they can't say anything. It's wrong. And then some guy showed up. I heard scuffling. Should be that night too. Said I bought her for $25,000. I want her, and I hear more scuffling. Can't have her. We're not done with her yet. And he said, but I paid good money for her. He said, I don't care. You can't have her. We're not done with her yet, but I paid good money. And then now I'm not one bit racist at all. Not at all. I told you my family is a lot of different mixed races. My brother Pete, his wife, his ex-wife was Filipino, is Filipino, And they have grandchildren that are Filipino, Caucasian, and African American. Trey is actually a swimsuit model, and she is beautiful and exotic. My one cousin is married to a guy from Spain, and they adopted a daughter from China. I think people of other races are beautiful and exotic. My dad told me, God made all mankind and died for all mankind. Okay? And realize you're no better than anybody else. Okay? I'm not one bit racist, but I don't care what color skin you are. It's wrong to buy somebody. I think Dave said, well, you're African American, she'd be afraid to go with you. I don't care. I paid good money. You can't have her. We're not done with her yet. And made him leave. And they talked about a Harry. Okay? And they talked about him a lot. And some of the cartel actors scared to death. It was on the news about 2 years ago. They were looking for a human trafficker named Harry, and he's African American. And they know who he is. That's how not funny it is. I don't even know if it's the right Harry. But it's just like they said there was a district attorney from Southern Ohio here helping investigate. Okay? Him and his men showed up. And they were walking around me. He even came and sat next to me on a bench in the mall in his suit while his guys walked around. They said the district attorney knows she's innocent. And nobody will address anything to her. They said his name. I looked him up. He's a real district attorney from Southern Ohio. He's African American. There's real people, good and bad, fighting back and forth. And where they said that recruiter, they said he was an NBA recruiter. Okay. There was a guy when all those big guys filled the mall. Okay. He was African American, showing up talking to people about their basketball careers. All those big guys he brought down, walked around and chased the cartel. He just looked at me. Showed up several times. You want to play? There's real people. Or it's wrong for a church to kill anybody for any reason. There's real people. Just gotta find them. That good and where John said it's angels fighting over your soul. Good and bad pushing back and forth. The most beautiful example of what happened here. It's like the demons of hell raised up and possess people's souls to kill and destroy people. Where the good wouldn't tolerate it. That's where in 18, I told you those big drug dealers walking around me all the time. I was in the Sia cartel. Different cartels. How do you think I know about them? Because they were around me. And like they said, her case was a way into the cartel. They were running a scam on her and they could surveillance on them and get them for doing stuff to me. And everybody they were connected, and they didn't want to lose the opportunity. Okay? That's where last year they had showed up investigators at Walmart 62. And when the case first started, they said that they were telling people Karen was threatening people. We followed everybody around. Karen was at home. She was out with her kids. Dave was cheating when he was supposed to be at work. Karen had no idea he was cheating on her. He was supposed to be at work. We told him to stop lying in 18. I never caught him. December 9th, 18, I have Dave taped. I never caught him. There was no one to threaten, and I wouldn't have wasted my breath. Would have screamed at Dave and divorced him. Like they said, Karen would have divorced Dave. She would have known about all those women. He was supposed to be at work. And see, that's where the freedom of speech. What is a jail sentence for an FBI agent if he tells an informant if they say anything, they won't get their money? It's 20 years. It's blackmail. Like the Stark County Sheriff's, we all know he didn't have the authority to ask her to stay quiet, and it is considered blackmail. And it's illegal. It's a federal crime. Freedom of speech. Only a judge in a jury trial can take it away. They can't sign a court order taking it away outside a jury trial. It's an accessory to blackmail. Just like, what is a jail sentence for an FBI agent if they say anything, they won't have help? It's attempted murder. Aiding and abetting crimes is 20 to 30 to life. The same for a judge. See, that agent and his prostitute girlfriend and her dad and those drug dealers ran the biggest con here in the world. Well, they stole. That's where I told you. Those big drug dealers, they hated Dave. Hated him. And in 18 and 19, Dave was caught working with the men that work for the king from Texas, the drug lord. If you look up the drug lord that's known as the king in Texas, he is U.S. military Iraqi translator, went into the dark web malware fentanyl king. Okay. Judge Peters' group helped out 3,000 people, seen him at Faith Family Church. The fake FBI agent that tortured me was with him. Breaking, they had mind-controlling drugs and they could control anybody for 4 to 6 hours. And they sold the login to the case up there. But those big drug dealers that Dave hired, they were angry with him because he's so arrogant. He got so arrogant up there. I love God, but I don't fear him. He doesn't even stop me no matter what I do. He thought he was above God. I taped him up admitting that. But those big drug dealers came up in 18 and 19. You can ask that investigator. Get a hold of Officer Mark and the one I called Officer John. They did admit to using Z drugs on me. I didn't know what that meant. They used Z drugs on her when they drugged her and told her to say it before. That's why she has no memory of those people. What happened erases the memory as it's happening. She'll never remember. It's a shame we don't have a drug to erase what we've done to her here. And they said even Dave, they implicated Dave in the house of using it on me. And then drugging me up and telling me to say stuff also. And that it was set up that for Dave to get everything in the divorce and for Melissa to get everything in the divorce also, so she can't help John. and that when she goes for custody, that they'll both get everything. The drug dealers talked about Dave and Melissa to the point they almost act like they were a couple. I made jokes. When I heard that, I thought, dear God, she's cheating with John's ex-wife. Dave's cheating with John's ex-wife. Does John know? That's disgusting. But that's how much they talked about them being in it together. I don't think they're funny, and the bitch move of hypnotic drugs and told us say awful stuff. And see, that's where in Walmart, people were yelling stuff at me. People around me, she doesn't even remember you. You can be as mean as you want, and she'll never remember what you're supposed to have drugged her and told her to say. So they yelled it at me. I ran to the bathroom, threw up, and had diarrhea. I went over and talked to Jim, and Jim said, Karen, are you sure they're not playing you? I said I had real bruises. I was severely infected. I was throwing up. I was going to the doctor. I thought it was orange well water making me sick. He said, Karen, are you sure they're not playing you? I said I never seen her talk to anybody. I woke up with bruises all over me, infected, throwing up, and almost passing out. I take a drink out of my Diet Coke, and the room went to Zane Black. I never seen her talk to anybody. But it kept happening. And he said, Karen, that'd be awful if someone was playing you. Right? And that they're just playing you. I said they could. I've never even had my neighbors in my home. I never seen her talk to anybody. I want you to think how not funny this is. See, that's where July 8th, 26th, I'm in Walmart in Alliance. There's a guy in the back. I made her live through a complete horror. A person like her. What, you're a victim, you little faggot? No offense against gay people. I just want to call him a swear word. I don't even know him. They said it's that guy pretending to be an attorney. Okay? Well, what was it? July 22nd, was that Wednesday? 2026? We were in Myers and Alliance, where those drug dealers admitted it back in 18. Well, within the last month or so, another group of them that came up. Melissa had those drug dealers drug you until you say that before, so that you couldn't help John during the divorce when she went for full custody. She didn't want a person like you raising her kids. A big guy walked up and said, Officer Mark made a big mistake letting Melissa go. Okay. While they were talking about that in Myers, we went over to Bob Evans. There's two guys in there. I never want to talk to Melissa again. Never even want to see her. I already didn't think it funny when I was in the store when that guy yelled out that he made her live through complete horror. I don't think it's funny he made anybody live through complete horror. And now I was in Myers when she was in there, and I heard those people admit that Melissa had those drug dealers drug her up and tell her to say that. So she couldn't help John get custody of the kids when they got a divorce. She didn't want a person like her, raising her kids. And she's the one that had drug dealers harm her. I don't ever want to see her talk to her again. You tell everybody you know not to talk to Melissa ever again. Her having drug dealers do that to her. Well, they said it in 18, the original drug dealers. I told you they hated Dave. And they made comments. Dave just wants us to go out, take her out somewhere and kill her. Why waste a good woman when we can sell her? They're supposed to sell me to that hairy guy. And then older Indian guy. They told me they couldn't have him. And I told you about those young African American guys that stepped forward. See, that's where in 1819, because everybody knew the drug dealers admitted they drugged me and told me to say it before. They admitted Dave was involved in Melissa. Everybody knew Melissa was documented me in games of pretend because they were taped saying they made everything up. They were games of pretend. They wanted the house for that Michelle. They knew John defended me, that no one could say anything bad about me. Danny and Jen didn't know anything, and neither did Josh. Okay? So, like they said, we all know she's innocent. People showed up. Where they sold the login, it backfired at first. People showed up, the drug cartels grabbing all these people. She almost died to save her family. She's the one that's helping the FBI get those people. The drug cartel's not getting her. We'll go shopping with her. Karen can hang out with us today. And that's how they were put it. We'll go shopping with Karen today. And people showed up by the crowds. Went shopping with me. Went out to eat. I remember Taco Bell across from Central Catholic. A whole group of people filled the store. Karen can go out to eat with us today. We'll make sure she's okay. She can hang out with us. People I didn't even know their name. The kindness of strangers did human shields. That's where those, they were 20-year-old African American guys with dreadlocks. And they showed up and they said that they had paid the cartel not to kill me. And yelled at them that they bought my freedom. And I cried. And they showed up about a year and a half ago in Belton and yelled at the cartel. We already paid you for her. And you leave her alone. They showed up about a year ago up in Summit Mall. Was walking up behind me to find out what else was going on. They showed up about 3 or 4 times and told them to leave me alone. That's where I told you there was a district attorney's office from Southern Ohio here. Him and his men were here. And they mentioned who they were. He even sat on a bench with me in his suit while his men walked around. And they said the district attorney knows she's innocent of everything. And no one will ever touch her. And nobody will say a word. They said his name. He's real. He's really a district attorney from Southern Ohio. See, there's real people. Real people. Good and bad. Pushing back and forth. Pushing back and forth. Like that investigator that showed up March 20th, 26th, Walmart West House by the electronics that had been working with an FBI agent. Got it out of that family that they were all lying to the FBI that offended them when they were in there. Trying to help these people get away with it. Well, why would they help? When you find out Agent John's prostitute girlfriend, Michelle, is Katie's family member. That's part of their church. That's why. Mary sneezed. They said he is. People said that is Katie's family member. We're June 3rd, 26 Bell Store. In Magnolia. They still have their tapes of people coming in and out. Morning, people come in. We all found out it's Katie's family trying to steal everything for themselves. None of this is funny. I'm in there a couple more times. That's when people show up. We got a hold of that investigator from March 20th, 26, Walmart West House. He said Melissa's documented me games of pretend and that she had never hurt anyone. Oh, Karen, we're so sorry about everything. You can live anywhere you want. He said it was the human traffickers in your home before, and this whole thing's a scam. It's a bitch move. Basically, roofing somebody with a hypnotic drug. Tell them to say something horrible. They thought they were fucking funny. Then when I confront Dave, I've never hurt anyone. Taped him, of course, and so the police and FBI. Karen, you're good to the kids, you're good to the grandkids. You would never hurt anyone. You're good to everyone, no matter who it is. He defended me because I expected him to. And then pull a bitch move and act like he didn't know what was going on. Bitch move. Bitch move. And photoshopping a washing in the shower and mean jokes. And I didn't even know what the mean jokes was. Like I said, if Flora wouldn't have stated a year later, of course it never happened. Of course it wasn't true. We made it up. They were games of pretend. I would have never known. Like Officer John, which I found out is a federal agent, where this Dark County sheriff's, when we went into the courthouse, we went to leave, said some guy said she knows him as Officer John. He's not an officer. His name's not John. He's a federal agent. He said his drug dealer's doing this to her. Well, he stopped men at the door January 12th, 22. Where those kids get tape stating, they made everything up. They're games of pretend. That's where the Massillon police told Mount Carmel, Illinois, they're documented me games of pretend. She had never hurt anyone. That's where the sheriffs made fun of some guy named Kurt. If he just found out those kids were lying, he's slow. He got tape saying they were lying in an FBI case. Melissa working with two guys that said they work for a drug lord. And willing to help him get away with it. I told you. That's where those drug dealers, they told on all of them that they hired. Where Agent John's girlfriend, June 26, the drug dealers we hired to do this to her. Photoshopped washing in the shower in the other room to make fun of her. Ha 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 ha. It was a human traffickers. And then these people run around, oh, we're going to get her. It's like, oh, shut up. Need a fly swatter. They're annoying as a gnat. July 8th, 26th, after that guy said he was going to make me live, he was the one that made me live through complete horror. I went outside, there was a lady off in the distance. Oh, Karen, I feel bad about everything. I feel horrible about everything. We got a hold of that investigator. He said it was the drug cartel in her home before, that she had never hurt anyone. And when I asked her son, Dan, about that shower scene in the other room, I wouldn't even have mentioned it if I'd known it was drug dealers doing it. That they didn't know anything about it, and that girl that's supposed to be that agent's girlfriend, supposed to be a prostitute, was laughing in a restaurant. That they hired drug dealers to Photoshop it. No wonder Dan didn't know. And he had said that it was just some guy named Pete he hired on his own in her home, and he was the one that did it. So he has to be a drug dealer. Get the idea. FBI case. They're way into the April 8th, 23, two of the FBI agents from the Belvin office. Young guys, remind you of my son Joshy. Been around me since 18. Look at all the people they hired to hurt her. We can use her for bait. Come on. I thought you ought to be ashamed I'm a human being. At first, I was so horrifying and scared of all those big drug dealers. I got Dave Tape complaining about all the men around me. I was in a sea of men. Karen, they want you. It's like, trust me, they don't want me. April 8th, 23, they showed up at Giant Eagle. Some of the drug cartel was up there. If they used your case to infiltrate our gang, tell them to give you your money. We're out of here. They looked at him, laughed, and said, we actually did. I laughed at him. Like they said, her case, they had a way into the cartel of someone they were running a scam on. And they could watch him and get him. And who was all involved. That's where the willing worker statement comes up. And Agent John trying to put a fraud scheme on it, trying to steal for herself and his girlfriend and her dad. You deal with him on your own. My case is legitimate. Threat and attempted life case for an FBI informant with money and immunity. It's a federal crime for an FBI agent to tell someone they can't say anything. Can't be in a quarter because it's a federal crime, like the Starr County Sheriff's of blackmail. No judge could sign him. Like Walter from the prosecutor's office. There's guidelines. It's for risking your life only. It's only bullying you. That's it. No judge could sign it. They sign their own arrest warrant. It's money. You get the money for risking your life. And it's protected money by the government. Can never be touched. Can't be attached where the bill from the Freemason scam, who can steal our money? You can't steal it. Can't attach it like Grant's friend that's an FBI agent out of state. The only way you can steal from an FBI case, because the person's in government immunity, and that money is government protected money for people in government immunity. Is that agent steals a debit card with their name on it. He simply puts it in a pocket. That's it. Is they steal the debit card. Get the idea. Where they promise people money, all this, all that. They can't do a thing. And then they go around, oh, we're going to get her. We're going to do that. It's like, would you just shut up? Shut up. I mean, it's just like, hang it up, people. Oh, just like yesterday, we were in the Bell store. There was two guys off in distance. They had it set up down here to destroy her. Why would you even destroy me? What would be the purpose? And then I thought about it. The only thing they'd want to destroy me for is to get rid of the case. They want the surveillance thrown out for the drug dealers released. That's where the willing, knowledgeable worker statement to fix Agent John's attempt of fraud. Pay, like Walter said, they have to pay you or the case gets thrown out. Because that agent was only bullying you. And like another FBI agent, all agents get. Like Grant's friend that's an FBI agent out of state, all informants get paid. If it's a loophole, it's a legal loophole that he purposely didn't do. Like Walter said, they have to pay you. You have to stand up for that case. They can deal with Agent John. But then I looked up other reasons they can get thrown out. That's where the willing statement of willing to stay up there, willing to face harm, knowing I was risking my life, but still staying up there, on my own will while they surveillance me to get these drug dealers or getting the people that were harming me and threatening my life. So they could, and were harming others. Like they said, it was a way into the cartel. See, their latest lie, oh, they were just pretending to be drug dealers. No, dumbasses, they really were drug dealers. The real big bad boys. The real big bad cartel. See, then they try to make up a lie. She only thought they were drug dealers. No, they were real drug dealers, dumbasses. They were real human traffickers. Real people got taken. Real people got sold. And that, like they said, they can tell when she sees one of them. You can see her face change. The look on her face. We all know what she knows what a lot of them look like that helped out. You can see it in her eyes when she sees them. I can tell you what the people from Buffalo, New York look like. Your cartel that helped. Michigan. California. The Texas group. They have them all under police surveillance. Judge Peters group. There was a couple people from Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina. I got one guy from Tennessee and one from Pennsylvania. So they have all that under police surveillance. If people would stop thinking that if they just act like retards, we don't believe it, so it's okay. It doesn't change the facts of a real FBI case with real police surveillance that was caught on it. See, that's where a Canton police officer said, back then I wasn't married, Miss Hall, you stand on that FBI case. You don't get off of it. No matter what anybody says, you don't step off of it. And any officer gets caught insulting you, you're going to get a lot of trouble with that FBI case. With all the people they got and all the information, they're going to get a lot of trouble. Where those investigators, whereas down at Dutch Valley Restaurant again on Friday, on the 24th, right? Stark County Sheriff's called down. Said they thought Agent John was only acting this way to get the drug dealers. He ended up stealing a lot of money in front of them, and they thought it was an act, and he actually stole it. Until he showed up at that courthouse trying to get the case thrown out, and it's a drug cartel case. And they got a lot of big drug dealers off of it and saved a lot of people. Got a problem? See, that's a cult mentality. They think they can tell a lie. Tell it to another person. Tell it to another person. Now everybody's heard the same lie. Now they all believe it to be true. They brainwash each other. The cult mentality. Where you tell something. They say something that's a lie. They tell it to the next person. Now it's true because we all know it. It's scary. Brainwashed mentality. A brainwashed, mindless boobs. You know, Heather told me years ago to learn not to lie on people that it's wrong. They haven't learned their lesson yet. I'm going to upload this.